Okay. Hi class, today we'll be discussing about beach erosion. Have you guys been to the beach?
Yes.
Yes, do you guys like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What are some things that you guys find at the beach or feel?
Sand.
There's sand.
Seashells.
There are seashells.
Waves.
Yeah, there are waves.
It could be windy.
It can get windy there at night, yes. It can be sunny.
And
What
maybe
else?
cold.
Windy, could be cold sometimes, yes.
Fishes in the ocean.
There are fishes. There's
Water.
life in there, life. Yeah, the water from the ocean.
We see surfers.
Yeah, surfers,
And people.
people. Okay. Those are some things that you guys find at the beach. Okay, let's picture ourselves enjoying a day at the beach right now. Can you taste the salty air? How about let's dig our toes in the sand? Have you ever wondered where that sand came from and how the beach was formed?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you know that there are beaches of different color sand?
I've seen pink and black.
There's pink and black sand. There is. Okay, well, a beach is a relatively narrow strip, okay, of land that borders an ocean, a river, or a lake, okay? The land slopes gently downward on the beach to meet the water at the shore, okay? So we have the beach, we have waves, and we have sand, and in here, where the waves break, you will find the foreshore. That is where you will probably find a surfer surfing. A surfer surfing. Okay? And then we have the back shore. That is in the sand where you will find me laying down reading a book. The back shore. Okay, so that's me laying down reading a book. Or you. Okay? But constantly, there's constant damage causing in short amounts of time that you guys don't see right now, but it is happening. The sandy beach is right in front of the beach, okay? The earth is in a constant state of change, and there are many variables that are contributing to the continuous evolution. The first one is weathering. Could you read weathering for me, Annalise?
Weathering. Weathering is the breaking down of rocks through contact with the atmosphere and waters.
Yeah, the weathering. It breaks down and disintegrates substances, the rocks, the minerals. It's breaking it down. And by physical, either chemical or biological processes, along with erosion. Doris, can you read erosion for me?
Erosion. The transportation of loose rocks, soil, and sand particles from one location to another.
Yeah, so we have the movement of sediments, the movement of the sand, okay? The soil from one location, it's moving it to another by means of water. So there's water, we have rivers, lakes, the rain, the wind, ice. It is moving it, the sediments, back into the ocean. So we have beach erosion, often referred to as the coastal erosion, which is occurring when the area sand is washed into the ocean. So the area sand is being washed back into the ocean. Okay? So the beach erosion is a constant process. It is constantly happening. The persistence of the beach depends upon the local rivers and the streams to transport more sand to the area. If the area loses more sand than it gains, it begins to shrink over time. The beach erosion is constantly occurring because of the wind. We have rain that is causing it to erode and to move all that rock and the soil back into the ocean. But here right now, the major rivers in the United States, they have been dammed. The amount of sediment that is reaching the ocean right now is very low. And it has to do with the climate change, which is causing the sea levels to rise. Okay, and it also influences that of erosion. So when the beach begins to disappear, there are a few things that humans can do to protect it. What are some things that humans can possibly do to protect our ocean?
I think build a structure.
We could build seawall structures. Yeah, so here we could have houses, as you see here. We have a house, and the beach is constantly being eroded. You see here, the water would hit it, and slowly, eventually, over time, it begins to disintegrate and collapse and go back into the ocean. However, if we build a seawall, after a seawall, the waves are deflected. They are going back. They are not eroding and hitting our dirt and our structure here, our land. And several decades or more later, eventually, the slope begins to slope down and steep down into the water. Okay? So today we will demonstrate the process of erosion caused by the waves. Okay, so we will begin to experiment as we do our activity. I would like you guys to discuss what is happening and journal, perhaps draw a diagram of the process. Okay, let me gather your materials. Okay. So I would like you to create the slope of the land. And I would like you to create the beach for me. One with sand and one with soil.
Okay.
And we will see the effects and observe the effects that the erosion, the water, and the waves are causing. We could add some puddles in there. We do find rocks in the sand. We found seashells. Okay, slowly, carefully on one end. Maybe before we slope it, you guys could create your land. Okay, and then after you guys have created your land, I would like you to pour some water to create the ocean effect. Okay, so once you have created that, make sure you slope your land. Okay, we will use the sponges to create the wave movement, and you guys will observe and discuss amongst your group what is happening. You will push down onto the sponge
I see
repeatedly.
the waves pulling in the soil.
Okay. So the sponge is in one end of the pan of the water, and you guys are repeatedly making small waves. I want you to observe and record the effect that the waves have on the sand and the pebbles. What are you guys?
My soil seems to stay
observing?
more in the water. Yours seems to be pushing it back. Back.
So as you see, the sand is slowly eroding,
Yeah.
but you see
The
here
soil
the
is a little
soil is
faster.
already mixing in.
This one is
So
pushed
usually
back.
it is.
Yeah.
It's forming
like
it.
a wall.
It's forming a wall. It is, it's pushing up against. It's creating an elevation. It's breaking down. Okay. So I would like you to journal your observations. And I want you to record the effect that the waves have on the sand and the pebbles. Make sure you guys discuss what you guys have seen and observed.
Oh, I saw the waves
Like it,
pulling in, and then, but with your sand, it was putting them back.
yeah, it was
Because
like building.
the soil was, yeah.
And I would like you to describe the relationship between this activity and the actual beach erosion.
Well, it actually shows exactly what is happening, what's going on, why erosion.
Like with the sand, it like builds and forms something.
It does. As you see here, these pictures, you see how the ocean has begun to erode this land formation. It is slowly,
Your experiment looks like the picture, like what's going on.
It does, and eventually, over time, the weathering will begin to break down the rocks through the contact of the waters, the waves. When the waves are strong, and we have strong wind and strong waters pouring in, the rains, the thunderstorms, the waves begin to become more forceful, and it hits onto the land. So. You see the pebbles begin to come out of the sand as well. Okay, so finish your activity, your diagram, and then we will take a short quiz.
Okay.
Okay. So now, before we take the short quiz, I would like you to give me some examples of what you have learned.
I learned that the wind, the rain, and the waves is what causes the erosion.
The wind, yeah, the water, there could be ice that breaks down and causes the water elevation to rise. Okay, Evanice, what's something else that you have learned?
I learned like the water when it pushes back, it forms like in the picture.
It's beginning to form, yeah, and break the land and create, look at this creation here.
Yeah.
It's beginning to carry out the rocks, carry on top. Okay, and as you remember the seawall, that's something that we could do to protect it as well. Okay, so now we will take a short quiz, and I will ask you guys each questions and, and see what you guys have learned. Okay, so the first one, erosion is likely to happen when the land does not have trees or plants. Is that true or false?
That's true.
That's true. We need trees and plants and the roots to attach to the soil and the sand. Okay. When the blank pounds against the cracks in the rocks on the shore, they erode. When the what pounds against the cracks?
The waves.
When the waves pound. Okay. And the shoreline begins to erode, forming new landforms, as you guys have discovered with your activity. And it creates what? What has been created?
The beach.
The beach, yeah, the beach has been created, our sand. And that's why we see so many types of beaches and their formations. And eventually with time, they might change and the water might begin to rise on top of that. Okay, the rivers deposit large amounts of material when they are flown into the ocean. Is that true or false?
That's true.
That's true, yes. The materials are being transported back into the ocean. Okay, and the process of moving pieces of soil or rocks by mechanisms including gravity, wind, water, ice, plants, or animals is called what?
Erosion.
Erosion. Okay, so you guys have learned about beach erosion today, and I would like you to go home and discuss this, with your sibling or your parent, and maybe you guys could do the activity there. And next time you guys go to the beach, how about you, observe and take a look around and see what type of landforms, erosion and weathering has created there. Okay, so thank you, class, and class dismissed.